What's up everybody? In today's video, we're going to be jumping into Premiere and we're going to be transcribing some videos and using our text captions to actually edit out filler words, pauses, and really anything else that we don't want in our video. So I'm Joe, this is my channel, Joseph Blake Photography. I'm a landscape and adventure photographer here in Las Vegas, Nevada, and as well as Southern California. And on this channel, we talk about tech and news and gear and everything that has to do with creating content and doing photography and just making cool stuff, whether that's here on YouTube, elsewhere in social media, or really if you're delivering to clients or giving stuff to your friends and family, that's the kind of stuff that we talk about on this channel. And if that's the kind of thing that you're into, I'd appreciate it if you hit subscribe and like. In today's video, we're gonna be talking about this feature in Premiere that I use pretty heavily to edit my videos. So I've got a clip open here. I've got a project that I've started. It's about 20 minutes long. There's a lot of big pauses in here and probably some ums and some so's and some buts and that sort of thing. And I wanna get rid of all of that. So what we're gonna do is, before we do anything else, before we do any color, anything like that, I've dropped my clip on my timeline and I'm gonna go ahead and select it here. And then what I'm gonna do is over here in the text transcript panel, I'm letting it go through my video and transcribe it. And what it's gonna do is it's gonna bring up all the text and it's gonna identify filler words and pauses and all that sort of thing. Now, while that's doing that work, real quick, a quick plug for my Instagram giveaway. I've got a short video here on the channel that talks a little bit more about it, but just really quickly, if you go over to my Instagram page and you follow me on Instagram and you like some of my pictures, maybe share a couple of them, and then come back here and go to that short, which I'll link right up here and I'll link down below, and just comment there and just say, hey, I did it. I followed you on Instagram and I liked some of your videos and I shared one of your videos. As long as you're a subscriber to the channel, you're gonna get entered into a random drawing where I'm gonna be giving away a ton of this gear. I get gear to review all the time. And right now, you know, I got sliders and cables and chargers and microphones and lights and soft boxes and all that sort of thing. I've got more lights coming. I've just got so much stuff that's coming that I'm going to have to review. I get a text message just about every day from the UPS store being like, hey, come pick up your crap. Well, once I review it, I normally don't need this stuff. And so I want to give it to you. So if you're subscribed to the channel and you follow me over on Instagram, go ahead and come back to that short, comment on the short and say, hey, I did it. And once I hit 1,000 followers, I'm going to be reaching out to random folks in that comments list and just say, hey, what do you want? Let's go shopping. But enough about the Instagram giveaway. Check out that short for more details. Let's jump back into Premiere because I think our transcription is done. Okay, so it transcribed the entire clip and each section is listed here by speaker. So if you had more than one speaker, this would be great for video podcasts if you were doing that. And I've used another tool similar to this called Descript, which is specifically for podcasts, but it does video as well. And Descript actually does a really good job of this, but it's an expensive monthly thing. And if you've got Premiere and you're already spending on Adobe's monthly expensive thing, then honestly, this might be a better plan for you. So now looking at this video, I mean, you can just see here on the timeline, I've got huge breaks in this video. So the first thing that I want to do is I'm going to go up to this filter panel and I'm going to click here. And I'm going to go to the search settings. And the search settings, there's not a lot here, but we can use whole words if we wanted. We can match capitalization if there's something that you're searching for specifically. And then under transcript view, you get to set what things you want to see. So I've got filler words, markers, low confidence, sources that were not transcribed, the different speakers, and the pauses. And then I've got a minimum pause length, which means anything that is within this time frame, it will consider a pause. And I've got this pretty low because I like to cut my videos really short, really tight. I don't do the 2 or 3 seconds because then that means it's gonna leave a pause that's 1.5 seconds and that's just too long. So that's how I configure those. And so if we just hit save there, and now I'm gonna go to the filter and I'm gonna click on pauses. We'll start with that. So it has identified 120 pauses. And what I want to do is I just want to hit delete and I'm going to hit delete all. But I'm going to set it to extract versus lift. Extract just deletes it. It's a ripple delete and everything is just going to bunch back together. You're going to see my timeline is going to go from this one solid clip to it's just going to be Julianne, right? The alternative is to use lift, and lift is more like Swiss cheese. So you're going to see holes. So I'm going to hit extract and I'm going to hit delete all. And so now, as you can see, my clip is now edited by segment without the breaks, without those pauses. I pause a lot. It's a thing that I do when I speak. So next we want to get to filler words. And you just heard me say one of the big ones that I use the most, which is so. If I go in here and I type so, you'll see that it is grabbing when I say so. So as you're editing, so the first thing, so that's got to be pretty good. So I use so a lot. What we're going to do is I'm going to click on the filter because it's also picking up words like something and words like also. And I don't want it to delete those words, and I don't want it to cut those words in half. So I can either replace them with something else, but in this case, what I want to do is I want to click on search settings, and I'm going to change this to whole words only. So it's only going to include the so that's up there. And then if I wanted to, it found 38 of them. I can just kind of go through each one and say like, okay, which ones do I want to delete? Or I can just say delete and it'll just delete all 38 of them. And then when I go through my edit, if I want to try to fix something, I can. I've been doing this now for quite some time and I've not really noticed any issues, even with keeping that as short as I am. But one other thing that you might know is that I do use Final Cut quite a bit. And so what I find myself doing, once I'm done with this, I don't actually do my full edit in Premiere. I actually like editing in Final Cut. But Final Cut doesn't have this feature. So what I'll do is I'll actually export this to a Final Cut 7 project. And then I will convert it either using DaVinci Resolve, which has a really nice import-export feature, or I will run this through another app that I have called 7-to-X. I think it's now it's called Send to X. And that will then turn the XML file that's exported from Premiere into a Final Cut XML file that I can then import. I don't know why Premiere doesn't do an export. This isn't rocket science to export into Final Cut Pro, at least the XML for the timeline. But that's how I do that. And honestly, it works really, really well. The other thing that you can see is when you do have little breaks, you can kind of mouse over them here and it'll actually tell you how long they are. So these are 0.1 seconds and I've got mine set to 0.48 seconds. So those would not be deleted. But that's the first part. The second part is, let's say you're here and you're like, okay, I don't want this segment. I want to really kind of delete this, or a particular word that you want to delete, and you want to get in here and just edit manually. So you can either just select individual sections and then hit delete, or you can select a word and hit delete. You do have to select it, and then it deletes that segment. So if you really want to get into fine-tune editing here, you can. So if there's a specific word or a specific sentence or a specific phrase that maybe you used in your video that you don't want to include in your final edit, or maybe there's something that you're like, I know I said this and afterwards I realized it was wrong, I gave the wrong information, you can search for that and then you can find it and delete it. It's also really good for things like graphics and knowing where to drop maybe B-roll. If you're like, okay, I want to talk about this lens at this segment in the video, and I want to make sure that I've got some B-roll of the lens for my review, and I want to put that in my video. You can do that without having to search for it. You don't have to scroll through the whole project. You can just search for it and find it. And then it's at 7 minutes and 25 seconds, and then you can drop it in there. So that's it, just a quick tutorial walkthrough of a tool that I use quite a bit, and I wanted to show it to you. Hopefully that helped you a little bit. If that's something that you're into, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button. If this video was informative, I'd appreciate it if you hit like. Don't forget the Instagram giveaway. Go ahead and check out that short link above and below. I'm giving away a bunch of gear. All you gotta do is go follow me over on Instagram, and once I hit that 1,000 followers mark, then I'm gonna go ahead and go to the comments on that video, and everyone who's subscribed to my channel is going to be entered to get a random thing. It's not going to be random. I'm going to reach out to you and say, hey, here's the stuff I've got. What do you want? Do you want the light? Do you want the modifier? Do you want the tripod? Do you want the microphone? What is it? Because I got boxes piling up. Literally. I got boxes piling up. Like, it's too much stuff. So let me know. Well, don't let me know. Just go follow me on Instagram. My account got hacked, and then Facebook Meta shut it down. So that's what happened. And as a professional photographer, I have to have a decent Instagram, and I'm adding stuff to it, but you guys know it's Instagram, man. The algorithm changes all the time. Who knows what they're into? Thanks for watching. See you next one.